few image processing techniques. So how image data is stored. So actually how it can be is like we know that it's a kind of picture. If you take a picture of any size, like maybe 100 by 200, okay, so you have width as like 100 pixels and height as like 200 pixels, and there may be like what you have is pixel. It means like actually pixels. There will be these dots, those many dots, like in your image, like there will be like 100 dots in a row, and like that you will have 200 rows. Okay, so this is how like image will look. And actually what happens is, if you take a colored image, okay, so instead of a single value, like you'll have three matrices like this. It will be a 3D. So this is 100, this is 200, these are 3. Okay, there is one more dimension which will add to it. So what this dimension is this is R, this is G, this is B. So there is an RGB format which will be used in your image, like or in some cases like they process it RBG or BGR. Like it can be anything. Like you have to specify, like stick with one single format, because like multiple formats, again you have to do a conversion to get it. Okay, so it is just a kind of, you can read it as a kind of a numpy array of dimension like this, 100 comma 200 comma because like here rows are 200, right? So it will be 200 comma 200 comma 100 comma 3. So this is how, if your like dimension of your image will be if you read it. So if you once you read it, okay, so in case if you want to cut, like, and how the values will be is like each of this R or G or B, like each will have one pixel related, like one value for each pixel. Okay, so and this value will be between 0 to 255. Even this value will be 0 to 255, and even this value. Okay, so taking this, like the combination of this value plus this value, how much of it is red is there, how much of green is there, how much of blue is there, they will find it will be a kind of an addition. Okay, some x into R plus here let's say y into G plus Z into B. This combination gives you a pixel, actual pixel value, and this value will give you a color, like that will be your actual color. If these are all zeros, let's say this is like 255, this is 0 and this is 0, then this will be red. So if it is like all are like 255, then that is white, and if all are zeros, it's black. So like that, and if it is like this 0 and this 255 and this 0, so that is green, and similarly 0 0 255, that is blue. So like that, like actually the, and you can keep like something like, there is one more 127 127 127, which means like all are half half. Okay, so that will be your gray color. So like that, you, for different combinations of these values, you will get different colors. Okay, you can generate like different colors like this. So this is what we have, but we can convert it into a grayscale image. There are like functions to do it. Instead of representing it in three formats, it will be a single format. Okay, so it will be a single format where you have a single image, uh, 0 and 200 and 100, and instead of 3 it will be only one single. Okay, so you will have 200 into 100 comma 100 comma 1. So or maybe you can also represent it like this, right? So if you just reduce that additional dimension, because it doesn't matter, it is only single value. So this will be your grayscale image. You can even read your data in this format. So it will come as some kind of a black and white image. Okay, so that will be of this format. There won't be any color information. So but even with grayscale image, you can differentiate between various colors, right? So the brightness values, like the values in this pixel, will actually be again like within 0 to 255. Okay, like 0 means like black, 255 is like white, and for various colors, like depending on your various intensities, it will take like different colors in between. Okay, so this is how actually your image will look like. So this is how your data will be looking like. So okay, so let's take like one more thing. So you can see in like many nowadays it is common in all mobile phones where you'll apply filters, right, over image. So what actually it does is, okay, so let's try to do like instead of a bigger matrix, let me try to keep a smaller matrix, like where I'll also give a values. So this is some kind of very small image, let's say 4 by 4 image. Okay, so I'm trying to like make a simpler example here. So and your values are something like this, and what actually is filtering is like instead if it is sudden thing, like it will, what it will try to do is it will try to smoothen it. Okay, let me also talk about something called edges. Okay, so this is also uh, these are just a concepts to make you aware like what images and what data will be there in images. So let me talk about edges first, and then we'll go to filtering. So what edges will do is like it means your values suddenly are like 10, let me, in your rows surrounding, let's say there are like 10, 10, 10, and suddenly if there is some different value. Okay, I'm talking about a single grayscale image. Let's take that example, and suddenly it went to 20, and then again it is 10, 10, 10, like this. Okay, in your matrix row. So then what it means is it till here it's in one color, and suddenly at this pixel it's a different color. Okay, so it's a different color, and then again it will be from here, it is again same color. Okay, so let me draw it exactly at that level. So this is like this, but at this particular point where you have, wow, where you have this is like you will have different color. Okay, so this is how it is there. So is it not a kind of a, if you take like even this like what we are trying to write here. So if you take the intensities, like let me draw a box. Okay, so this I have drawn a box. Okay, so and to this box let's try to write an exact this is our picture. Let's say like what is inside our green is a picture. So all these are white, so it will be zeros. It will be zeros here, it will be zeros, and this is blue. Okay, when there is a blue, it means it will have some value. So it will have some value. Let's just like so for sample, let's write it like 100, 100, 100, 100, and from here again white space, right? So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and this is 100, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and this is 100, 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0, 0. This is like wherever we find this blue, right? So we are making it 100. Okay, so what is happening here is till that point, if you plot that, what you have is till that point it is 0, till that point it is 0, and suddenly you have 100, and then again it is coming back to 0. Okay, and this is a point where you have edge. Okay, this is where like we actually define, say that like actually we define our objects by its edges, right? So actually if you draw something like triangle, you actually see this edges and say that this is a triangle, right? So even the existence of object, you will actually feel it by seeing it edges. Okay, so just if you draw see some pencil drawing, it is only the edges which if it is drawn, you can actually recognize the object. So edges are very crucial. Okay, so that is one more thing. So edges are so edges, how you will find it is there are like sudden changes. within your pixel values, so that you will call it edges. Okay, but actually in reality, if it is like sudden change, okay, so that will not actually, like, that is one way. And if it is like slowly changing, let me blur it and show something. So instead of like changing sharply like this, it will change something like this slowly. You know the blurring, right? So you know how blur the image will look. So it won't be a sharp edge like this. It will be slightly so lighter edge, and then you'll get a sharper edge, and then a lighter edge like this. Okay, so this can happen, right? So in this scenario, what will happen is, instead of 0 0 0 0 when it is 100 and 0 0, this doesn't happen. Instead of this, what will happen is 0 0 0, maybe 97, 98, 100, 98, 97, 0 0 0. So this kind of image data will come. So what will happen is, your edge won't be sharp like this. It will go like this and then come like this. So this is how you will get. So what we have to do is, like, using some filtering techniques or maybe some other techniques. What you do is, you can even sharper this, or maybe if you have sharper, you can even do the blunt like this. Okay, both can be possible. So those are your filtering techniques here. Okay, so let's discuss about filtering techniques now. Filtering techniques. So I'm not actually going to talk about like how to do sharpening or blunting and all, but the concept behind it is what is our focus now. Okay, so what we'll have is, like, actually, let's say you have a complete image. Okay, so and here what you can do, so for this, let's see, take the same thing. Okay, you have a blurred one where you have 0 0 0 0. Take the same thing, 0 0 0 0, 97, 98, 900, 98, 97, 0 0. So this is how it is there. If you keep a condition like if it is greater than equal to 100, greater than or equal to 100, f of x equal to x, if x greater than or equal to 100, 0 if x less than or equal to 100. If you keep this kind of condition to this, what will happen? 0 0 0 0, and then when 97 comes, it is less than, not greater than 100, right? It is less than, right? So make it 0, make it 0. This is 100, so make it 100. So here make it 0 0 0. So you are able to, with some condition, now you are able to get that sharp edge, right? So something like this, like some kind of a data manipulation, if you are able to do, so you will be able to get that edges. Okay, like maybe sharpen it, or maybe blunt it as well, like we'll be able to do. So similarly, this is a single line we talked about till now, like we spoke about a single line, one dimensional. If it is a two dimensional, because like image is a two-dimensional object, right? So what we have is, instead of, we'll have a filter like this. We will have a kind of a box which will run through image. Like first it will run like this, and next it will slide slightly, and it will take this one, and one more time it will slide one more way slightly, and it will take like one more, and also it will do, not only that way, it will also do sliding like this, like this, like this. Actually it will cover your entire box. Okay, so if you have your box, so all your boxes will get, actually your entire image will get covered like this, like this, and even in middle as well. Okay, so but just for representation, I am actually representing this thing. So this is how it will move. Okay, and this box is again a matrix which will multiply. Like you can have something like 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0, something like this. It is one kind of like, or 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So this is a kind of an identity matrix, right? So similarly, like you can have 2 1 0 5 random numbers, something like this, 2 4 6. So you can have some like this as well. Okay, so if you have that filter here, so we actually, here it is 3 by 3 filter. So you can have that filter here and pass it across your image. So according to that, it will modify the pixel values, right? So and your value will be something different from what it is previously. Okay, so this is how actually filters will work, and it will modify your value. There are similarly Gaussian filters which will actually do a blurring to your image, and if it is like this, it will make you like this. So there are like few predefined filters which we can use, but while we are using deep learning, we don't use predefined filters. Instead, we will make it learn automatically. So that's what we'll do. So that we'll discuss during our deep learning session, so which will be in the next session. So this is how we can do. Okay, so why are we actually thinking about all these? Okay, so how are they relevant to deep learning? So what it will have is, so actually, if you take an image, okay, and you say there is a car which you want to detect. Okay, so if you take this car, so if you just see like each point separately, just like how we did in neural network, right? So you just like flatten all the values here, and these values we are actually giving it like this, right? So this is how we are actually seeing it. So but in case if you see, so something like this. Okay, so if you can see the adjacent ones are actually having some information, so temporal spatially as well. Like if you take car, right, so you will actually look at like the images like pixel values which are nearer to it to see the shape. Okay, because like you need this, right? So if you just give this value, this value, this value separately in a kind of a long matrix, right, if you then you actually don't like get the feel of object, and maybe you may not recognize it properly. Okay, so what you do is, like if you look at the picture like this, if you look at the picture like this, if you look at the picture like this, so what you see is, you will see a kind of this is there. Okay, in some one, like there is a wheel, in some other one there is a wheel, and in some other case like there is something like horn here. So like this you are actually seeing part by part entire image. Okay, so still like you will be able to distinguish by collecting all these together. You can able to distinguish that you are seeing a car, right? But if you see only one pixel value at a time, okay, that will be something like this. So you have 0, 25, 6, 125, like 200, something like this. These values, a kind of a single big flattened one, like which we've seen in like previous example, you actually don't get that spatial information. Means like these kind of carro is there, this kind of wheel is there. So these information you won't get. Okay, so in case if you want to get, we make use of these filters, so which we are using here, right? We make use of these filters, values like outputs, like which will actually give you a temporal information, and we call those as convolutional neural networks, which we will discuss in the next session. Okay.